Pads came on for the first time here at Vikings training camp in Eagan, day 5 of camp. And it was an interesting practice. It was nice to hear the pads popping, some real football. We had offensive line and defensive line one-on-ones. We had wide receiver and cornerback one-on-ones, tight ends and linebackers, and everybody was out there competing. Brian O'Neill said it was nice to, see where the off-season preparation has gotten you when you're playing real football and you're not just practicing on air or you're playing without pads. This is a step up in the level of intensity, the level of competition, and we saw a lot of that. And let's start with what we saw at the end of practice, which was the Vikings offense, the first team offense going against the first team defense, down 13-10 in a situational period, 1:15 left, one timeout, and they went absolutely nowhere. On the first play, J.J. McCarthy was pretty clearly sacked, and they blew it dead. Second play, looked like it might have been a sack again. He was able to step up and dump it off to T.J. Hockenson. They call a defensive penalty. So that resets, and then he throws incomplete to Jordan Mason under pressure, and then on 3rd and long, sacked again. This Vikings defense was just completely in the backfield, giving McCarthy no time to operate and survey the field and see things. And, you could look at that both ways. You could say that's not ideal from a Vikings offensive line that is still without Christian Darrisaw. Or you could say that, this defense looks really, really impressive as it has so far in camp. I don't know if we're necessarily talking enough about the fact that the Vikings were number 2 in defensive DVOA last year in the second year under Brian Flores. And then they went out and added Jonathan Allen and Javon Hargrave, who are not that far removed from being among the best pass rushing defensive tackles in the sport. And they've looked really, really impressive so far. You pair those two on the middle with Harrison Phillips. Jonathan Greenard has just been a monster every day at practice here. Granted, going against Justin School and not Christian Darrisaw a lot of the time, but Greenard has just been, living in the backfield, unblockable. J.J. McCarthy did some solid things outside of that, that last period where he really had nothing he could do. Made a deep throw to Lucky Jackson for a touchdown that was fit into a really tight window with Theo Jackson closing hard. He had a nice ball to Jalen Naylor in 11-on-11s. So made some good throws. It was a fine day. He really commanded the headlines with his performance on Saturday, the first day with fans. This was more of just kind of like the first couple days for McCarthy. There were some nice moments, some throws that he would want back, and you're just kind of continuing to see the development from McCarthy here at Vikings training camp.